Well, I guess I'll start. I mean, Giannis has obviously been out these last couple of days. It's something as a veteran you're not unused to, I guess. But what has the field been like as you're kind of waiting for him to get healthy, but incorporating new players and that kind of thing, and just in general these few days getting started here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just been about us getting after it. Whether Giannis is in or not in, we understand we still have a job to do. We still have to get better. We still have new guys to add, still have continuity to build. And I think obviously having him on the floor is what you want, what we need. But looking at it from a big picture standpoint, like him being healthy is probably more important. And so for us, how are we working on the things that will translate to when he is playing, but he's not on the floor at that moment in time, because he's not going to play 48 minutes a game, right? So how do you make sure that during those moments that he's not on the floor, we're still able to operate as a phenomenal basketball club?
I guess with him out, is he like active on the sidelines? I feel like he would be. When I walked in, he was teaching Shemi something.
Yeah, Giannis. I mean, Giannis is Giannis. I think his growth that I've seen over the last 3 years is him being vocal. I talked about it a lot last year during the playoffs when he was out versus Atlanta. He's not a rah-rah type of guy. He's not a guy that's necessarily, addressing the entire group during training camp, but he's a guy that when he speaks, you listen, and he pulls guys aside, and especially guys that are going to be playing his position or, playing alongside him on that front line, and trying to make sure that they're in the right positions and they're understanding what it's going to be like when he's there, when he's not there, and what we need them to do in order to put us in a position to win ball games.
I was joking with Grayson a little bit earlier that this is like kind of going to dunker school, because he's like, I've never done that before. I've never done a workout there. How do you guys kind of try to help new people? For you, I think it was probably easy. Like you played some 4 or 5 at Notre Dame. You kind of knew about the dunker, but for a lot of guards, this is like, what am I doing down here?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's about just making them feel a little bit more comfortable, understanding that we know in order to be the best team that we can be, we're going to need the new guys. We're going to need guys to be comfortable in different spots, but also understanding what their strengths are. Like Bryn last year, he wasn't in the dunker a lot. Grayson has the ability to be in the dunker more, but what he's comfortable with is going to help us win games. So myself being a utility guy that can kind of do a lot of different things on the floor, if we're on at the same time, I can easily move him to the corner and put myself in the dunker. Or, if it is a fast break opportunity, him just knowing that he can be in the dunker and using his athleticism because he has it.
They're going to change some of the officiating this year with unnatural basketball movements or stopping, change of direction. Specifically defensively, I think that move of kind of stopping and jumping back or something. So as about rear contests and things of that nature, how can that maybe help you guys to a degree if they're going to disallow that kind of movement now in terms of getting around a player, maybe contesting?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think you got to wait to see how it gets refereed. That's a really tough call to make, especially when it's a new rule or a new point of emphasis. So we always want to defend without fouling. And, I think obviously, like you kind of mentioned, I've been trying to do rear view contests, block shots from behind my entire career. So if they're going to now give me the leeway to essentially go through somebody who's jumping backwards to block it, great. But I don't think we're going to bank on it. It's not something I'm going to bank on. It's still going to try to be smart about contesting without fouling. Still going to try to be smart about, understanding it might be an adjustment period for the referees and for players to understand how they're going to call that point of emphasis and what it's going to look like in the flow of a game.